Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist of Central Oregon. My name is Jeff, and I will be your worship leader today. You are all welcome here, regardless of what experiences you're going through, what pains or loves you may be feeling, what your background is, your foreground is. No matter who you are welcome in this space. Our opening hymn today is Sow It on the Mountain, sung by our choir.
If you would just, they need to start, if you would try, everything would be fine. If she, you know what you need to do is, you would make mommy very happy if you would. I might stay in this relationship if you would. You know what you need to do? How many of those have you ever said? How many of those have you said this month? How many of those have you said this week? It's not even noon yet, and I've already said 2 of those things. There's give and take in every relationship. We know this, but it's just so much easier to take. It's so much easier when the other person needs to apologize. It's so much easier when the other person needs to change. It's so much easier when the problem is out there and there and there than it is when the problem's in here. Isn't it?
Join me now in the lighting of our chalice. If you have a chalice at home, feel free to get ready to light it as I read a quote from Sakin Ramdas Bharatia, and forgive me if I butchered that name. One or few sparks give rise to a flame, but can be extinguished easily. Hundreds of sparks give rise to a blaze, difficult to extinguish. Keep feeding sparks. Keep igniting your soul and wisdom blaze to inspire and enlighten yourself. Now join us in singing Spirit of Life with an amazing video accompaniment.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the land, give life shape of justice, roots on me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Good morning, I'm Chayla Sloper, your Congregational Life Facilitator, and I have today's announcements. Firstly, not only is it always a joy to hear the quadruple of Eric Ekstrom, but what a wonderful invitation the choir has given us to explore and get acquainted with our new memorial gardens. So they filmed their choir piece there, and what a lovely way to start bringing the vibrations, the good feelings of our heart and our affection for one another and for those of our congregation who have left this world. So please do come by the church sometime and explore the garden, walk the labyrinth, walk the trails. We love to see our folks here on the grounds. And guess what? This Wednesday, you'll be able to do that as well. This Wednesday night, beginning at 5:30, we'll be gathering for a less formal, more casual. We might need to bundle up because we'll be meeting at 5:30 and meeting on the patio outside the big glass doors. And so it's okay to have food or beverage. Nevertheless, if you're not eating or drinking, we would prefer masks be worn. We'll be able to sing together a little bit outside. We'll be sharing our joys and sorrows and hearing one another's voices, not just our typing skills. So that's this Wednesday night at 5:30. And also, most importantly, 2 weeks from today, on the 24th, we'll be beginning our in-person services here at the Fellowship Building. I'm not in the Redwoods like you might see. I just don't want you to see my office. And so, yes, on the 24th, there was a discrepancy in the ACE. I apologize for that. But the services will be in person at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. There will be a Zoom service at 11, and our ASL interpreter, as we love watching Kim, will also be at the 11 o'clock service. So I recently sent out an email to those who thought they might be willing to usher or be a greeter back in August when we were looking at opening in September. If you've gotten that email and you think you might still be willing to usher or be a greeter, please respond. And then I've also set up a couple trainings because there'll be some new things to go over. And new folks are welcome to do these functions as well. But next weekend, Saturday at 1:30 and Sunday after the service, the 10 o'clock service next Sunday, not to be confusing, but we'll have the training at 12:30 here at the building. So again, in-person services at 9 and 11 beginning October 24th, and then fingers crossed henceforth. So this week, what have we got going? Wednesday, in addition to the outside patio gathering, the Women's Connections invite the women, and I think anybody who wants to come, to write thank yous and appreciations for the St. Charles staff at the Redmond and Madras campuses. So they had a really successful appreciation writing for the Bend staff. And now we just want to spread the love farther north as well. So that's this Wednesday at 3 p.m., 3 to 4:30. Masks are appreciated. Also, guess what? On Saturday, December 4th is the Bend Christmas Parade. So it was canceled last year. We're going to be resuming it this year. And if you have any interest in helping to do the planning and organizing, Shannon Adams is the point person for now, but she wants to collect a really good, energetic team. You can send an email to parade@uufco.org and let Shannon know that you want to help. This is a time that we've marched in it. It's really fun as a civic community experience. We proudly wave our rainbow flag and our inclusion flags. And so it's just a lovely, fun opportunity to make a presence in our community. Tuesday night is the XYZ group at the TAP. That's at 7 p.m. And let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, if you're visiting, maybe the first or second time, and you would like to sign up for our communications, we have our all congregation email. We call it the ACE, that comes out every week. And you can fill out the virtual visitor form, which is in the chat right now. Let us know that you're here. And if you'd like to sign up for the ACE, that's the best way to be in touch with what's going on in our congregation. So again, there's some things happening this week, opportunities to get together and spread some love, and particularly 5:30 Wednesday on the patio. Bring a chair, bring food, bundle up. See you then. And in the meantime, bright blessings on your day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Chela. So, dun, dun, dun. It is my favorite time. It is the time for all ages. Now, this very much is a time for all ages. This is not a time to go get another cup of coffee if you're an adult, because today I brought adults book for adults that just happens to have pictures, and kids might enjoy it too. But this book is going to be very, very important for all you big kids as well. So the book I brought today is called Be You. Be You by Peter Reynolds. Believe you me, us adults could use that just as much as kids, right? Be who you were born to be. Kind, spiritual, dynamic, insightful, polite, quirky, generous, exuberant, open-minded, helpful, moody, colorful, loving, curious, and more and more and more. Be you. My wish for you, no matter where you are and your journey leads you, is for you to always be you. I told you this was a book for adults too. Be ready to take the next step towards being an amazing human. Be curious. Turn every stone, ask every why, and keep digging deeply. Discover your own answers. Be adventurous. Live a big life. When you are ready, step outside of your comfort zone. Bravely explore new paths and see where they lead you. Be connected. Find kindred spirits. Be with those who make you feel like the real you. Be persistent. Keep going, never stop. Keep going, never stop. Keep going, never stop. Be different. Be silly. Be quirky. Be odd. Be unique. Be weird. Be colorful. Be okay with being different. Just be the way that you are. Be kind. Be understanding. Help those around you to be themselves. Listen. Then listen some more. Learn more about each other. Be brave. Try new things. Take a deep breath and plunge forward into new experiences. It gets even better every time you try. Be your own thinker. Think for yourself and set your own unique course. It isn't always easy, but you will be heading in the right direction of you. Be okay with being alone. Take time to be on your own. Hear your own thoughts, your inner voice. Listen to your heart. Be patient. Being more you takes time. Take a deep breath. Relax. Let your future unfold at its own pace. It will be worth the wait. Be okay reaching out for help. When you need a helping hand, a compassionate ear, an encouraging word, reach out. As you voyage into the world, remember, no matter what, you will always be loved. You are ready, so go ahead, be you. Be very, very you. Like I said, it's a book for adults just as much as it is for kids. So I hope this is a good reminder of all the facets it is to be you, all the different ways you can be you. You can be big and exciting. You can be small and thoughtful. You can be any way you want to be, as long as it's you. Now, please join me and Jeff in the Children's Covenant.
In this place, I am kind. In this place, I am loving. In this place, I am a friend to the earth and all animals and people. In this place, I am loved. You know, one truth that I know is true is that we are all humans. And because of that, we are all going through human experiences. Some of those might be filled with joy, and some of those might be filled with sorrow. This is a time where we have the opportunity to share our human experiences and connect with the community that is gathered. I invite you to share your joys and sorrows in the chat. So today I'd like to introduce a good friend of mine, Rachelle Indra. She is a life coach and speaker specializing in the intersection of humor, neuroscience, and self-actualization. She has made it her life's mission to teach what we should have been taught in school, nurturing healthy relationships, steps to uncover your life's purpose, and how to retrain your brain to work for you. Although she does have 50,000 followers on TikTok, she promises that she does not subject any of them to her singing or dancing ever. Take it away, Rachelle.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. I think that's just a very important thing to note in my bio. I think a lot of people who know me would have been worried about that. So thank you. And I wanted to start by thanking Jeff because I can't imagine anybody else I would rather have done this experience with. This has been so much fun planning and practicing this performance with him. So we've been behind the scenes trying to make this as wonderful for you as we possibly could. So fantastic partner in crime. Thank you, Jeff. When I was in my early 30s, I had to leave a relationship with a man that I lived with. I stayed in the house with him for a very long time while I looked for an apartment. I dealt with the awkwardness of living still with somebody that you've broken up with, continually dealing with the arguments, the walking on eggshells while I looked for a place. And of course, I thought it would be a few days, but this is Oregon, so it lasted days into weeks, and then weeks and weeks. And I was at my wit's end. I got so exhausted and I stopped wanting to come home that I sat in a deserted parking lot late at night under the fluorescent lights and did what I always did when I was in a desperate situation. I called my dad. Now, see, I have a unique talent that not everybody has. I have the ability to scream and hysterically cry at the same time. It's a unique gift. I know not everybody has it, but if you have ever had the privilege of raising a teenage daughter, you may know this skill well. My father, who had the honor of raising me, knows this skill painfully well. So there I was, 10:30 at night, rage crying to my father about how I needed an apartment. Now, I can't tell you exactly what I said because I don't think that Jonathan at church right now has one of those buttons that can bleep out all the really colorful, beautiful words I used in the moment. But mostly, I screamed and cried about what I needed in an apartment. I needed it to be in this area. I needed it to be this price. I needed this square footage. I needed it to take pets. I vision boarded it. I manifested it. I saged about it. And why hadn't the universe given me my apartment? And my dad, who has been my dad for a very, very long time, knew to wait until I had exhausted myself to speak. And he said something that still runs through my head daily. He said, I'm hearing a lot about what you need, but I'm not hearing anything about what you have to give. I looked at the phone. Is this thing on? Did you hear me? I need an apartment. I need. Yeah, he went on. I hear you. But what about the other person in the relationship? What about the landlord who's scared to rent an apartment for the first time and let somebody live in their space? What about the landlord who has been burned and had horrible experiences renting and is really timid? What do you have to offer them? Can you offer them calm and stillness? You're a good tenant. You pay rent on time. You'll take good care of the apartment. You're a considerate pet owner. You're quiet. Okay, so the last part was a bit of a stretch. For those of you who know me, no one has ever called me quiet a day in my life, but we get the point of what he meant. That changed the way I looked at it. I went from grasping and needing and wanting and thinking about me to envisioning the person at the other end of that relationship, thinking about how I could provide easefulness in somebody else's life, how I could be the perfect tenant for somebody else. And you know what? My dog and I got a wonderful apartment 2 days later that we lived happily in for years before I moved to Bend. The experience with that apartment shaped the way I looked at relationships from then on. Now I start asking myself in any relationship, what can I give? It didn't only shape that, it shaped the way I coach my clients. Clients come to me looking for ways to either strengthen their relationships or help cultivate new ones. Why? Because that's what we do as humans. That's what we seek. We are pack animals and we crave connection. People say we crave connection now more than ever, but I don't think that's true. I just think that the pandemic highlighted something that we always held dear and perhaps took for granted. I'll let you in on a little secret exercise I do with my clients. Now I know we're all friends here and you won't tell a soul. So here we go. I have them make a list of all the things that they want in a relationship. I tell them to write them all down. They want compassion, they want love, laughter, freedom, acceptance. I encourage them to take as long as they need. I charge by the hour. You take as long as you need. This exercise works whether it's a romantic partner, a family member, a coworker, or a friend. I have them read their requests out loud. And then I ask them, of all these things you so desperately want, what are the things in here that you are willing to give in a relationship? Are you willing to give all of it? I make them go through and check all the things that they have the ability to and are willing to give. If you want stability from a partnership, do you have stability to give? Then I ask them to read it again. And I ask, are these things that you are able to give yourself? I know that for me personally, I'm hoping to be in a deeply loving relationship someday. I think often about what I want my partner to be like, what I want their love to be like. And then I have to stop myself and think about what I can give. What can I give? What kind of love can I give to a partner? I used to vision board what I wanted my partner to look like, to be like, down to the detail. I threw that all out. And now my vision board is about what I can give. What kind of love do I have to give? How can I show up in a relationship to make it what I want? And how do I know how much love I can give to another person? How can I show up fully in a relationship with another? Because I first show up fully for myself. I have dug down deep to the core of who I am. I have moved out the old Chinese food boxes and the old dirty socks, and I have found my heart. I know how much love I have to give a partner, to my family, to my friends, to you, because I have first given that love to myself. And because I give love to myself every single day, it more easily spills out onto other people in my life. I'm messy. My love gets everywhere and on everybody. I do this because we can't ask something of another person that we can't give to them. And we can't give to them what we aren't able to first give to ourselves. But before we know what we can give to ourselves, we have to know who we are. Not who we were back then, not who we were before we got married, or before we lost the job, or before the pandemic. And not who we will be in the future when that person finally changes that thing and I can be happy. Not when I finally retire, not when the pandemic is over. But who am I right now? On this day, in this body, and in this very moment. We have all been through trauma in the past year and a half. Many of us have been through long-term survival mode. And the thing about survival mode is that we numb out and keep pushing forward. We numb out because it is too scary to feel those bad emotions. But the problem with numbing out the bad emotions is that we also don't get an opportunity to feel the good. I invite you to give yourself time to thaw out and find out who you really are and how the pandemic has changed you. Because it has changed you. For some of us, it has changed us for the better. We're having wonderful experiences. We started new careers. We got to spend more time with family. We got to peel away the things in our life that are no longer serving us. I lost my beloved dog last month, and I have so much gratitude for the pandemic giving me a year and a half to be home with him. So much time, so much to be grateful for. And some of us lost jobs. And some of us lost connection with family and our community. And some of us lost loved ones. Every single one of these joys and every single one of these sorrows has changed us and delivered us to this very moment. You are not the person that you were when we had to close the doors of UU and go online. So who are you? I know this is a big question to ask. I know it's a hard question. Sitting with ourselves and discovering who we are can be very, very scary. That's why we invented drugs and alcohol and shopping and social media, all distractions so that we don't have to look. The pandemic gave us an opportunity to look, but we didn't all take it. Some of us watched Netflix instead. Some of us became experts on the Tiger King, and that is okay. That is what we needed at that point. But I invite you to take a look now at how it has changed you. Are you more afraid of the world? Are you more patient? Are you stronger than you thought? Are you more compassionate? Do you need more tools to help you deal with stress and anxiety? Do you have depression you're working through? Was it laughter that got you through the past year and a half? I discovered that I'm more resilient than I thought I was. I discovered that I'm able to hold space for someone who's in fear and stress and pain while I also was experiencing the same thing. I learned that isolation is a real thing when you live alone. I also learned that I have to put my needs first, or else I will burn out and I will be very, very angry with people who absolutely don't deserve it. After you take an inventory of your own soul, I ask you, what is it you now have to give? And maybe it's nothing. Maybe you don't have anything to give right now. Maybe you are just keeping your head above water. Maybe you're just keeping one foot in front of the other, and that is okay. I need you to hear that that is okay. The healthy way to give is to only give in excess of what you have, or only to give what you have in excess. And if right now you don't have anything to give and you are just using both your hands to hold on to the end of your rope, that's fine. We're here to support you, and we can hold space for that. Please know that. But if you are in a place to give, in order to cultivate a new relationship, what does that look like? What does the new you have to give? Are you more ready to be understanding? Are you more open, more curious? Are you a better listener? Only from a place of knowing who you are now and what you have to give in a relationship can we ask for what we want to receive. That's why I say, in order to cultivate a true relationship, you must start alone with yourself. Thank you.
We have cleared off the table, the leftovers saved, washed the dishes and put them away. I have told you a story and tucked you in tight at the end of your knockabout day. As the moon sets its sails to carry you to sleep over the midnight sea, I will sing you a song no one sang to me. May it keep you good company. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads. and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself, you can gather friends around, you can choose one special one. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. There are kids who grow up strong and bold. There are others quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some follow behind. Some go in their own way and time. Some women love women, some men love men, some raise children, some never do. You can dream all the day, never reaching the end of everything possible for you. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they will give the same back to you. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself, you can gather friends around, you can choose one special one. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. The love you leave behind when you're done.
Please join me now in the saying of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. So at the end of service will be a slide of how you can make an offering to sustain and support the work of our church. In addition, we invite you to coffee hour at the end of service. During this time, we will break out into groups and explore the question of how has the pandemic changed you? Oh, sorry, I actually have the wrong question. How have you and your life changed during the pandemic? Join me now in the extinguishing of the chalice. If you have one at home, you can extinguish your chalice, and I will read a quote from Henry Haskins. The darkness around us might somewhat light up if we would first practice using the light we have in the place we are.
I can't wait to see all of you on October 24th in person again, and for the first time.
Really enjoying Debbie McMahon's piano playing. And so this is where I am the traffic monitor. And if you are planning to stay for the discussion in our virtual coffee hour, then just hang tight. And if not, then do please press the